You're cool. We're gonna go all the way upstairs to his room first.
So, how you feeling?
Good.
Let's read the notes. Room board at the Sprock Chat, 350 bits. Borscht 25 bits. OCI key, 100 bits. Ammunition, 50 bits. Storage slims, 200 bits. Glacier Age whiskey, 500 bits. List of expenses. Okay. Theories and leads. Something strange in mines. Check it out. Note, stay out of mines. Murderous moon man in the canyon? Probably a local legend. Canids equal yellow. Spacer's Choice logo equals yellow. Coincidence? No such thing. That's good. Persons of interest. Lots of bodies buried on Gorgon, but not many hatchets. Everyone had a grudge to bear and a finger to point. Lawrence Goodfellow oversaw Office of Creative Incubation, genuinely oblivious or playing dumb. Olivia Ambrose, person we're looking for. Project director, lead scientist, prickly perfectionist. Note, do not ask Minnie about her. Killed in evacuation. Okay. Lucian Bondcroft, Spacer's Choice Man, real top runger, few logged visits to Gorgon, tensions with Ambrose. Marion Blacksley, supervisor of human inquiry and auditing, nerves of steel, heart of ice, etc., disappeared when things fell apart. Jasper Lowe, head of the chem lab, exhibited increasingly erratic behavior in later years of project. Herbert S. Germain, he's a ghost, worked at one of the facilities, vanished suddenly, records scrubbed. Well, darn, I thought one of these would have the code for this. Okay, don't I think I have a skill that actually doubles anything I wear. Oh, that's not hacking anyway, that's lockpicking. Duh. I'm dumb. Oh yeah, because it doubled it twice. It gave me 20 points, so 5 and 5, 10 and 10. I wonder if I have someone that can give me enough lockpicking to get in there. But I would need 47 total? Okay, let's talk to the people. One of them have the code we're looking for. Nope. Maybe she meant second floor.
You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? Don't really seem like the type. You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey is far from over.
I could say the same about you.
Not me. I'm right back where I started, and the end is almost in sight. Listen to me, being all vague and mysterious. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the Marauders would eat me alive.
Depends on what you need.
Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress.
This something must be valuable.
It is to me, but apparently it's junk to Sublight. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled.
Where's Jerome now?
Nowhere good, that's for sure. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won. I lost. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind. I never saw him again.
So let me guess, now you're here to find him?
You're a quick study. This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's still here.
What do you think happened to him?
No point in denying it, he died on this rock. Likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took care of himself on his own terms. I don't like to imagine what happened, but I know I have to accept it.
I'd keep an eye out for it.
You'd really do that for me? Law, and I'll bet you're worth 10 of those sublight sprats. I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first.
I wanted to ask you something first.
Yeah?
Did you know Lucky Montoya?
That old flirt? Yeah, I let him buy me a drink or two. He talked my ear off about exciting jobs he'd done. All lies, I'm sure. He fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. That man had baggage like you wouldn't believe. I didn't think anyone could be lonelier than me.
Was he depressed?
He put on quite a front, but I think he was weary. Like he'd seen too much and had too little to show for it. Guess we were kindred spirits in a way.
Did he mention anything about the Gorgon research facility?
He bragged about having the key to some sort of maintenance area in one of the old buildings. I never saw it, so I just assumed he was talking himself up. He also asked if I wanted to see something gross and slimy he kept in his room, but I declined, politely.
That's all, thanks.
Sure thing. My condolences if you two were close.
Tell me about your time here.
The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. I wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path, including me.
Alright, be seeing you. Okay, so something disgusting in his room? If she's being literal or not. It's gotta be in here, because I can't even see what's in there.
I can take a hint.
There's nothing disgusting in here. I still can't really tweak anything, so there's really no point to that. Okay, so let's try Roscoe was the other one? Let's see what he's got to say. That's Trixie, that's Freddy. I don't know if I saw Roscoe. Oh, did I not even go in here? Look at me, missing whole areas. That's a lot of things to loot. Nothing special.
Show your boss that you are prime.
What's your pleasure? Name your poison.
Did you bring the payment?
I don't know.
Ooh. Maybe upstairs is where we saw Roscoe?
That last drink you ordered had a punch to it. What did you say it was called?
Lunar Eclipse Mix.
There's Roscoe.
Holy shit, a fresh face. Haven't seen your like in years. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system, pal, but you're welcome here. Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook.
I talked to her. She mentioned you were some kind of journalist.
Some kind. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and death shit.
Perception, you seem like you're having a rough time. Can I help you out?
If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor?
Helping out old bastards 80% of my job. What do you need?
Chairman Rockwell ain't that old, Captain.
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone.
Why's that?
Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said.
You hid them and now you need me to get them for you. That about cover it?
Right on the money. Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right amount of rough around the edges. Help me get my recordings back so I can finally get the hell out of here.
It's your lucky day, Roscoe. I'll get those recordings for you.
No shit? That's downright civilized of you. All right. One of them I stash in the Office of Creative Incubation, in the projector room on the 3rd floor. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's upper entrance.
Why there?
Seems like a good idea at the time. Someone had started a fire, folks were shooting other folks. It was a madhouse.
Got it. Next.
You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main lab storage room.
You've ran all over Gorgon just to hide your recordings?
Didn't have much of a choice. The primals had gotten loose, couple of them were chasing me. The recordings just ended up wherever I hid.
Alright, easy enough. The others?
The final one is in human inquiry and auditing. It's tucked behind a pipe in observation room B.
The observation room. Wouldn't someone have seen you?
What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant.
Got it. I'll be back.
Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you. Hey, there you are. Did you manage to find those recordings?
Can I ask you something?
Sure, I'm an open book.
What's the deal with Lucky Montoya?
Nice enough guy. Fashioned himself one of those professional gumshoes, like in the serials. They usually work for the board, rooting out dissidents and the like. Lucky, though, he was freelance. Worked for anyone who paid, no matter their allegiance. You ask me, I think the guy just likes snooping around in folks' terminal messages.
Lucky tell you anything about his investigation?
Next to nothing. He preferred to keep a tight lid on things, more dramatic that way. Not that he needed to keep secrets. Folks down here don't give two shits about anything but bits and beer.
And he loves showing off. For a sharp guy like you, theoretical types tend to blab. You sure he didn't mention anything? Let's go down.
So sometimes Lucky'd get deep in his cups and start going on about the ghost of Gorgon. But I didn't think anything of it. Guy also liked to say he could pop the cyst off a cysty pig at 100 paces with his eyes closed.
What was Gorgon like in the heyday?
Frenetic, chaotic, vicious, take your pick. I wasn't here at the start, but going off what folks told me about the early days, Gorgon started out with promise. The board's best and brightest were excited to work here, said it was a good posting. The project director had a vision and big, bold ideas.
And then?
Nothing good lasts long in Halcyon. Thing is, the schedules coming out of the corporate office were unrealistic from the get-go, and they were trying to do the project on a shoestring budget. Couple that with the obvious personnel problems and toxic junk in the product, it was only a matter of time before it all went to hell.
Gorgon's a ruin now. What's on it over the edge?
Shit, any number of things. Fire, primals, sabotage. It didn't happen all at once, but it happened fast enough folks couldn't respond in time. Now, if you're asking how it all kicked off, might have been spies that did it. Corporate espionage, you know, anti-Cleos. I never did figure it out. Not about to try now.
Why'd you even bother stashing the recordings?
Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found a way in. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking asteroid. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was.
You must talk to a lot of staff here. What were they working on?
Adrenatime. I'm sure you know it. Was a drug, something to make folks work harder, work smarter. Had a lot of nasty side effects. Didn't seem so bad to me at the time, but then I hadn't met the test subjects yet. The whole thing was real hush-hush. A lot of worry about corporate spies, especially from anti-Cleos. I probably shouldn't even be mentioning it to you, to be honest. Spacer's Choice, they're really not fond of spies.
What do you know about the senior researchers?
Not much, except that there was a whole gaggle of them, and so far as I could tell, they absolutely hated each other. Dr. Ambrose would hardly let me speak to any of them, but she complained about him all the time.
What'd she complain about?
Everything, seemed like. Marion Blakesley, for example, lady who ran HIA, wouldn't return any of her messages. Not once, for years. Jasper Lowe, guy who headed up Chem, was high more than he was sober. He insisted on running special tests on primals, too. Law knows what for.
Anyone else?
Dr. Ambrose really had it out for this guy Lawrence Goodfellow. Ran OCI. Would lose his shit if he saw red on a schedule. By the end, I heard folks were turning in completely bunk progress reports just to keep him out of their hair. Had this little minion, too. An actuary named Clarence Mosley. Obsessed with quantifying every detail of his sad little life. Mosley was the guy who got me mixed up in all this. Asshole. I hope a primal ate him.
So there's tension between all the researchers.
Oh yeah, it wasn't just that Dr. Ambrose hated them. They seemed to hate each other, too. OCI pushed a ludicrous schedule. Chem made a bad product, and HIA returned garbage results. A regular merry-go-round of shit flying in every direction. It's no surprise it all fell apart.
Sounds like half the crews I run with. Not this one, of course.
Mister, I'm not about to tell you how to do your job, but I ain't think that metaphor's fit to print.
Editor always did say my prose was a bit purple. Or brown, in this case.
Spacer's Choice won't let you leave Gorgon until you deliver the recordings?
Oh, I've tried. Make no mistake. I've caught a couple of rides out with sublight folks. But the board's fixers always send me right back. And I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with marauders just to fulfill a line item on a contract.
Okay, never mind.
Not a problem. Anything else?
Tell you when I find those recordings.
Of course. I won't be going anywhere, so, you know, take your time.
You, my friend, are in a gloom. What say we
These are
find a
all
better
no-name
spot to
people.
drink?
Okay, so how do we get
Somewhere
into
with
that?
less history.
Right upstairs. I mean, these fine folk gave me missions and stuff, but... nothing to actually get in here. Oh, there's stuff. There's more stuff on his desk. Several whiskeys in and a few bits short last night. Gave Lex the maintenance room key while I scrounged up what's owed. Note to self: pay up and get back before you go back to OCI. Pick up Lucky's case notes. Okay, day 1. Spacer's Choice may have left in a hurry, but they didn't forget to lock the doors on the way out. Most facilities are sealed up tighter than a top runger's safe. Time to do some digging. Day 6. Caught a break today, when a scavenger who claims to be a salesman for Spacer's Choice sold me a key to the office of creative incubation. Let's just say this guy's about as lucid as the sprat in a Rizzo's factory, but I'm suspending Minnie's bits so I can afford to take a chance. Day 7. It worked. Clarence Mosley, whoever you are, I'm drinking to you tonight. Day 10. Olivia Ambrose's office and journal ought to be in the synthesis and manufacture facility. Bad news is it's sealed up and at the outer end of the canyon. The good news is I should be able to open it from the Bigwoods admin terminal in OCI. Day 13. OCI is crawling with marauders. I've got a few other leads to chase down. Could be nothing. My gut tells me there's more to this place than a missing journal. Time to turn over a few rocks and see what crawls out. I'm leaving the OCI key in a safe. The combo is 4815. Any other notes I can look at?
Inside voices.
More stuff to steal. Okay. Retinal cam somewhere, I'm sure, so take it.
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting.
You think they stick the preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
That was a little too fast.
Pace yourself. The drinks aren't going anywhere.
Did Lucky leave a key with you?
As a matter of fact, he did. Collateral for the bar tab he was racking up. So, I guess it's mine now. And no, you can't have it.
My lie's not that high even with both of them? Fine. Oh, is the key worth 3,254 bits to you?
No. Maybe. Alright, yes. Here. I don't know what it unlocks, but Lucky seemed to think it was important. I take him at his word.
How about some trade?
I'll set him up. You knock him back.
One 14, 76, and 11. Yep, so her is definitely better.
I don't want any trouble. Don't forget to close your tab when you're done.
Okay, now that we've gotten through a mountain of dialogue, We can actually go murder some things.
Any trouble I should know about? If you're heading down...
But at least we got the maintenance key. We got the eyeball, which I'm going to assume opens some doors for optical scans. And we got a few more quests. I'm in. See where it leads us.
Don't you worry, Mr. Lucky Spirit. We're gonna finish your work and put you to rest, good and proper.
I'm just hoping we don't need Lucky's arm to open something else.
Yeah, maybe that's the truth. Oh, that's cool. Spread check. Looks like my overlay a little bit. I like it. Alright, well, one thing I do want to do real fast. I need to see who gives me hacking and lockpicking. I have a feeling I'm going to need those a lot. We're going to keep the mining pick on us, but we'll put everything else up for now.
I definitely want that.
Oh, I wanted to do. I wanted to transfer. Yeah, okay, so I have a helmet for hacking and a helmet for lockpicking. So I'll keep both those on me for now.